Yes, we are live. It's Friday night. There's a lot of competition Friday, but this is the Pontificators. I know it's not our usual night, which is Wednesday, and we haven't been live streaming for a while because I've been trying to get my book Black and White done, and happy to announce it's done. My part is done. Pencils and inks are done. We have 13 pages to color. I do have to say Brian started a little late on the book because we had another colorist and he just couldn't make the deadline. But Brian is catching up. So we will have this book, this bad boy, done very, very soon. And it will go off to print and you guys will get your black and white issue fairly soon. So I will keep you posted on that. But I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy. There's people that were speculating that possibly I had met my demise. I think Ethan Van Sciver said I might have leukemia. There's been a lot of speculation, but I assure you I am healthy as they say, a horse. I don't know what the hell that means, but I know people say that. And I am not like a horse at all. I only have two legs and I don't eat hay. So, oh man, we got a good turnout already. We got Marcus Kelligrew, Hell Art. We got John Porton. Holy smokes, it's Archie Bear. Yeah, hell yeah. We got One Slick Dude, and I don't know. I don't have validation. I've never met One Slick Dude, but anybody who has the cojones to call themselves One Slick Dude, I assure you, is a cool mofo. Nicholas, what's up, man? Been a long time. No see. Hell Art and chat. Yeah, we got the bros in here. We got a good turnout. Not the bros. They're my bros, but the Pontificators. So we got a good show here. Linkovich, how are you? Praetor 7. Past Master Dan shared. Hell yeah, everybody out there. Even you, Tech Zombie, you get out there, you text this out because we got a big show. We got a cool new book that we are going to let you guys know. We're going to talk the hell out of it for the next hour or so, maybe 2 hours. We'll see how it goes. And it's this guy right here. He's got the new book, and it's called The Maidens of Mayhem. And if you like the TNA, I assure you, there's plenty of that. We got the fearsome, what is that? Bullet. What does it say? Arthur, where you been all my life? Wow, that sounds kind of flirty. I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it, but I want to let you know I don't swing that way if that's where you were going with that. Oh, we got a good turnout, man. We got Rick. Big ups. Yeah, you guys thumb this thing up, tweet it out. Let's get some eyes on this. And yeah, let's get the man of the hour in here. This guy, he delivers great books, fun books, bouncy books, sexy books. And from what I hear, his last book is shipping now. I think some people have already received their book. But this one's a whole new ball of wax, and we're going to talk about it. And without further ado, let's get Clint Helinski in.
Hail chat, hail Art. It is so good to see your beautiful face again. I have missed you, buddy.
Well, thank you, man. Miss you too.
You're looking tan and healthy, man. You're looking good. You're looking awesome, and it's been too long. I have missed the Pontificators.
Yeah, it has been a while. I did miss the show. So is this the book that you're shipping out now?
Yeah, this is shipping right now. Hail chat, hail everybody in the chat. I see Past Master Dan. I see a bunch of guys. I see Marcus. But yeah, look at Superiors. That fresh comic book smell right there.
Yeah.
I shipped out about close to 1/3 of the books this week, and I'm going to be shipping out a ton more next week. But yeah, Superiors is done. I had a little hiccup. I forgot to print the trading card for all. Like I had a little panic mode where I had all the books shipped. I was ready to go. I'm like, I've got everything timed out. I'm going to ship out books before Maidens of Mayhem launches, and I realized I forgot to print out the fucking trading card that everybody that signed up for the mailing list gets a free trading card. And I'm like, mother.
So you have to send all those out separately now?
Well, no, Greco, my printer, has a lightning fast thing, and then I paid for the overnight shipping. So there was a delay, but it was like a 3 to 4 day delay instead of a 2-week delay. And so I was able to rush the printing of the cards. They have a lightning fast services 2 to 6 days for printing. Yeah, Greco kicks ass. And then I paid for the overnight shipping and got the cards and was able, like, the people were posting on Twitter already that they've gotten Superiors books. I was retweeting those out today. So yeah. I was ecstatic about that, to see people getting the books already.
Yeah, I think Todd was mentioning that he got his book as well, so he's going to show that off and talk a little bit about it. But I wanted to get into this. So Tech Zombie's got his. Where was it? Oh, right here. I have to answer this. Let's get the flirting out of the way. Yeah, you're a fantastic, awesome looking gentleman, fearsome. You're quite the hunk, as the girls used to say.
Comics Dude is all about the bromance, man.
He's all about
it's a bunch of good looking guys that are buddies. It's like there's nothing wrong with it.
And it's all above board. There's no touching or kissing.
No. Just other people are jealous of what we got going on.
Yeah. There is one man that I think you would probably kiss, though, Clint, and it's this guy right here.
Todd. How can you keep your hands off of Todd?
What do we got here?
Oh, look at that gorgeous.
Oh, shit.
Look at that gorgeous.
Superior.
And there's the trading card that I was sweating over.
You know, I got to say, it came today. I haven't read it yet, but I looked through it. I touched it and I felt it.
It's mint in box. It's right now. It's 9.9.
It's like it's really well done and really like the quality is in there. I mean, God, if you miss this, you crazy to not. I'm sure he'll have some up with this next campaign.
Yeah,
as a combo or something.
There'll be a second chance.
This is fantastic. The artwork throughout, you carried. Like, you know, some art knows, like you're 30 pages in, and you're like, it's a Sunday, whatever. Maybe there's something that doesn't look 100%. No, you carried the consistency to every single panel. It's a fabulous book.
I appreciate
absolutely
that.
Fabulous. And you took all my lines, like how good art looked, and that he looked.
You steal from the best.
You know, so I got nothing else, but this looks great, and everyone should really grab it. And in some other, like if you didn't get it,
there'll be a second chance in probably Blue Bombshell will be a second chance campaign in that. So.
Yeah, it's closed right now, but those second chance campaigns are great. I'll probably do one for Black and White at some point in Chrono Mechanics. Just because, like, there are people that come in and follow us all the time.
Oh yeah, so, there's new read. Unlike the big two, there's new readers in Comicsgate every single day. Or I got to tell you this, and I was debating on whether to post it out to me. Freelancers at DC didn't get paid today. End of the week, 2 weeks, 2 week paychecks. Comicsgate's getting paid. DC freelancers not getting paid.
Well, let's get somebody else in here. He likes his money. He likes to get paid. I've thrown a couple ducats his way for some brilliant work on an animated book called High Octane Adventures. It was possibly his first foray into the comics industry, and this man is multi-talented animator, comics artist, like just he's a musician. He's like a triple threat. So without further ado, Mr. Pedro, Ang.
How are you doing, guys? We're throwing compliments all around.
It's because we missed each other, man.
Yeah, dude. I might not be good looking, but I have a huge hog, and I work hard. So I don't know what to say.
When you don't work hard on that hog, do you?
No, I don't.
When you got
Hog?
that dust
We're
tan and the
already
huge
talking
hog.
about like
Yeah.
butts and hogs. Right?
He's got a farm. He's got a farm.
Yeah, I got
There's
a
a
farm. I
farm.
got chickens. I got hogs. I have goats
Goats.
and whores.
Do you have any dolphins? Isn't that what
Oh,
what are some of the other things that they call hogs?
Hogs.
Polishing dolphins.
Oh, a polished dolphin. Yeah, just no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now Todd's starting to figure it out.
Yeah. Oh.
Todd's like, I gotta go now.
Yeah. So how you guys doing, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I miss you guys. Let's get this gayness out of the way.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Big hug. So Pedro, I know you've been working on a new book as well, right?
Yes, sir. It's already 130 pages. Jesus, but yeah, I'm having fun, man. This is like I'm drawing in my underwear because I feel like a little kid. I mean, Panama is so hard. You get from school, you get off your school uniform, and you watch cartoons. And those cartoons were basically like super mega anime, like big robots. And now I'm making like a big robot book, and dude, it's a lot of fun. And there's like a lot of TNA also, so it's really cool. Waifus and Kaijus, guys. We got the mailing list, so go check it. I have some more.
You gotta send me a link. So
Yeah.
you have put it in the green room, and I'll put it into the chat. And then later I'll put it into the description. Yeah. You guys gotta let me know this stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, today is Clint's day though.
No. This is Pontificators. I want
Right.
and that was the.
Did you say today was
out
Wednesday,
in Panama?
Clint's. Whoa. Hey,
It's not Wednesday.
Focus.
I never know what you're talking about, Pedro.
Oh, that's my charm.
Hey, where's your buddy Rob, Clint? Is he bowling today? What's he doing?
Yeah.
He's a little family vacay.
Oh.
So Rob got a free pass. He's had a little trip planned I knew about already. So yeah, it's unfortunate timing because Rob's always a hoot. But yeah, he had a little trip planned, and I'm sure he's having a great time right now. So
yeah, we're missing some pontificators here.
Well, Gary Martin said he might pop in later.
Yeah, it sounded like Gary was stopping in, so that'd be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think maybe my theory is that Chris won. Chris settled.
Chris is in a yacht.
Chris is like in the Caribbean on like his yacht now.
Chris Wozniak?
Yeah.
The Woz?
Yeah,
Did he win? Did he win his case?
We haven't heard from the Woz.
Is he here? He's not.
If he signed that, what is it? The DNA do not, or no? What are those?
Oh, he can't speak about it.
NDA.
You can't speak
NDA,
about it.
Yeah.
Those clauses.
I sincerely hope he's in a yacht somewhere in the Caribbean.
I was hoping he'd be here because Michael Uslan, the producer that ripped him off. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Chris Wozniak wrote years before the newest Batman movie came out. I forget the director's name.
The Batman.
And it was a Riddler story. He pitched it to DC. Somehow this Michael Uslan got it. Maybe I don't remember the details, but maybe Chris pitched it to him. And so then years later, somehow that storyline, the Riddler part of that story, ends up in the movie. So Chris Wozniak, the Woz, is taking DC and Warner Brothers to court to try to prove that they ripped off the story. So why we're saying all this stuff is I think we're hopeful that Chris, since he's he's missing in action, that maybe he won the case and he's out there spending his Warner Brothers money. But I got a Uslan story. Okay, so Uslan and I follow each other on Facebook, right? So he knows who I am. And so he posted this Neil Adams, it's a drawing, right? And he says, this is a painting, this is a Batman painting that I have hanging in my office. And so I don't know, you know how like when threads start building, even days later, you still, for some reason, you get these things, they're on your feed. And so this thing kept popping up. it kept making me more and more angry as I saw this post. And it was like it said painting. It's a pen and ink drawing. It looks like a print from the comic book. It looks like they took the Neil Adams drawing and just Xeroxed it or scanned it and then made it into look at the pineapple head there. Made it into a print, right? It didn't look like anything fantastic, and it sure as hell didn't look like a painting. And so then I couldn't handle it any longer, and I did this for Chris Wozniak. I gave Michael Uslan some shit. So I wrote on the thread and I said, Michael, I said, this is not a painting. And then, because I was hoping to kind of like where he would maybe, go into more detail or something like that, or clarify why he thought it was a painting or something like that. And then all he says is, au contraire.
Oh, God.
and then I said, if it is a painting, I said, who did the painting? No reply. So that was as far as the shit that I gave, Michael Uslan for Chris Wozniak. So go Woz. Yeah, but let's go into this Maidens of Mayhem so people have a point of reference. Link is in the description. This is the new book by Clint Helinski. I do have a tab open, so let me grab it and open it.
I think Past Master Dan has got the wrench in the chat, and if you can share the link out in the chat, that would be awesome too. Jesus,
also
oh
before I forget, Pedro, did you put that link in Twitter?
Yeah,
in
the private chat.
Okay,
it's in the private
let me grab it real quick before I forget.
Yeah.
Do.
Look at that, dude.
I don't see it.
It's in the
Are you sure, Pedro? I don't see the link.
Yeah, it's in the private chat right here.
No, Marcus just backer number 32. Marcus Kelligrew, awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the
Pontificators green room.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Here it is. I got the copy. I'm going to paste this, put it into the chat. This is Pedro's new book. So go check it out, sign up. And now let's get into, there it is. Thank you so much, Marcus. Very cool. We haven't even did any heavy lifting yet, and you already get backers. So
let's just get into it.
We're getting into
it. If any of you guys in the chat back it tonight, definitely post your backer number and that you backed it. We love seeing that. It's awesome.
Nice.
You know what? I just thought of something. I have a problem with sound sometimes. Maybe you should take the lead on this, Clint.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll pull this down and just give me the link.
Yeah, let me share it to you. Then I can zoom in and
yeah, you can do stuff that I can't. And sometimes like the music.
My touch screen lets me touch it. One of the few things left that I've got.
It's very important to touch it periodically.
Yeah, you always got to touch those things. So
All
go
right.
ahead, man. You got the spotlight, brother.
Maidens of Mayhem. This is it's not a 48-page book. This is a 60-page book. You're going to get 3 full stories, a new Blue Bombshell story, Pirate Queen story, and an origin story for the Sword Maidens. This is an adults-only comic. There is going to be adult content. There is going to be lots of gratuitous nudity. This is like, what I say is this is kind of like American Pie for comics. It's like all this stuff kind of got poo-pooed with the SJWs now, and I want to bring back the fun stuff. I want to bring back the TNA. I want to bring back the dick and fart jokes. Blue Bombshell is like, there's a couple pages in here. I'll scroll down and show you the kind of humor that's going on. And obviously, you guys, a lot of you have seen Pirate Queen. Pirate Queen's a lot of action adventure, but also a lot of comedy to it. And then Sword Maidens is a little more serious, and this kind of in the vein of Conan, kind of in the vein of Red Sonja. Definitely like what Andy Smith is doing with Kordrath. You know, this is swords and sorcery fantasy. It's 2 twin sisters that are trying to avenge the death of their mother from this demon who is trying to control magic in the world. So a lot of good, fun, exciting stories that you can't get anymore from mainstream comics. Us in Comicsgate still like comics that have story to them. So all of this stuff is based on a story, and all the fun that we enjoy from comics. So
Hey, I saw a documentary. I can't remember his name now. He did like the Home Alone movies. He did like 60 Candles and
yep, I know who you're talking about.
What the hell's that guy's name? Somebody in the crowd will.
It's
or in the
Hughes.
chat will,
Something
John
Hughes. John Hughes.
And so yeah, it's a whole thing. And he did a lot of teen, like movies for like high school kids, stuff like that. And
sure.
there was a lot of TNA. There was a lot of risque stuff. But you know what? It was a different time. And he was interviewed, and he was talking about, I forget which movie it was, and the movie studio said, "Where's the TNA?" Like they knew it was like that's what people wanted, that's what people expected, and things like that. And you know what? There was a whole slew of those, like Meatballs. There was, like all kinds of like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
And then they were showing what was it? Weird Science. All of these things that were just fun. And they kind of centered around like more risque, kind of fun TNA stuff. It was all just fun. And I was just thinking, like, that was a way better time, man. And then we set this show up, Clint. I was like, Clint is that dude, man. He's bringing the shit back.
I was watching a show set in that time period. It was called Physical, and the show just is representations of different things. Like they have somebody who represents Richard Simmons and this and that.
Sure.
And I'm like, those times, not only was the music better and the movies, everybody was more colorful. Yeah. And they, like, Richard Simmons obviously is not around because he used to smack a lot of asses. I'm just saying. but the people in itself were way more colorful. Like wrestling was more colorful. It was just a way better period of time. I loved the fact that I grew up in that time.
Yeah, it was a game.
And you know what about Richard Simmons? Everybody knew that guy was on fire, but nobody gave a shit, man. Nobody cared.
No.
Yeah.
And it's weird how like culturally this shifts, because like we're almost in this like way more reserved, way more prudish time where they're looking to cancel people. Like anything that is like a little provocative is looked down upon. Like you can only do risque stuff if it's a certain tone to it. Like you like it's such a like creativity. Everything is clamped down right now because it's such a censorship era that's going on right now. And I don't know how it happened. It's so strange to watch it happen.
It's even worse. It's even worse than that, Clint, because I guess I can say it. Now we're in an era where it's only funny if it's white. You know what I mean? You can only make fun of white people. And dude, like it makes me feel like we're weak. Like we can't be the butt of the jokes because everybody's gonna get offended and offended for us. And I mean, when I mean us, I mean Latino, brown, Asian, whatever. Nobody can say anything about anything. And dude, in the 80s, the humor was racial, but everybody was laughing, man. Everybody was laughing. I remember, like, for example, Big Trouble in Little China. There's a lot of like risque jokes about Asian culture there. Everybody loved that movie. With me. The Gods Must Be Crazy. Remember that one?
The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Yeah, with the tribesmen and the Coke bottle that they thought it was their god. Dude, right.
In the clicking, it was
yeah. Dude, it was a hilarious movie, man.
It was.
You can't make that movie today. Like, oh my god, what do you mean? Like they're savage? Like,
well, just think about Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles is the 70s though, which is even like more risque. Like, dude, there's things in Blazing Saddles like I'm rolling on the floor still.
Yeah, the 70s and 80s, you like it was freewheeling. Like you could,
Yeah, dude.
and like somewhere along the line, like the early 2000s, like liberal white guilt just like got control of the steering wheel somehow.
Yeah.
Well, the liberals became the conservatives, like because like the
Exactly.
stereotype was always like, oh, the conservatives are all uptight, and now the conservatives are like way more progressive than the progressives are. You know, it's so hilarious. And you know
It's
what?
weird.
I used to kid around even in the 80s. I used to say everybody in the 80s is gay. You know, it was just like it was just a fun thing I said to my friends. I go, you know, because like salmon was a color for guys. Oh, it wasn't pink; it was salmon. You know, and you know all this stuff. You know, and it's like even like Miami Vice was like it was really pushing the line. You know, it's
those
like
jackets with the roll up sleeves.
I've got like pictures of me in high school with like white short shorts with like a pastel tank top and feathered hair, and it's like, oh my god! But it's like that's what everybody was wearing.
Yeah,
well, remember guys like straight guys were wearing those net shirts.
Oh god,
see through, and I think they were
shirts?
like open stomach.
Yeah, open stomach nipple shirts. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, straight guys were wearing those.
Absolutely.
And the headbands. What about the headbands? You know,
yeah,
dude, those.
I could never like I played in a band, and you know headbands make a lot of sense, especially when you're on stage.
Yeah, because you're sweating.
You're sweating your ass off, and I couldn't do the lover boy thing. Man. I couldn't like put the headband on. Yeah,
we are men. We don't do that.
Yeah, I'll just sweat. Oh, look at this! Look at this,
dude.
All right, back on Maidens of Mayhem. Let's go.
I was just scrolling around, but like, yeah. So this is I'll give everybody a little taste of the humor. Is on the other side of town. We get a live reading at Superior's headquarters.
Nice.
Now be quiet, Star Blaster. This is a stealth mission. What are you talking about, Torpedo? I want to test out my new X-ray goggles, and Blue Bombshell just went in the women's locker room. Oh yeah, this is me being proud of my writing.
Yeah,
just click the buttons on the side of the goggles and enjoy the view. Yeah, I'm sure I will. Damn, what do you know? They actually work. I can see through this wall, but not much is going on. Of course they work. I'm a genius. Give it a second. I know I saw her go in there. Ooh, there she is.
Jackpot.
Like, this is straight out of an 80s movie now.
Yeah,
perfect timing. She's changing into her costume. Now, I will reiterate, these pages will not be censored in the comic.
Yeah.
Did one of you guys say Porkies?
Yeah.
This is straight out of Porkies. Porkies. I said Porkies.
Whoa, sweet mamma jamma. Look at those tits. You're right, Torpedo. You are a genius. Oh yeah, Bombshell, nice and slow. That's how Daddy likes it.
Oh no,
Jesus, Star Blaster, will you shut up? Your yapping has ruined this for me.
You're ruining this for me.
Great Scott, look at the size of those melons. Those look juicy.
Okay.
So there a lot of authors, when they like are selling their comics, they'll do a live reading. So you guys, like, this is almost like a bookstore. I can do like the live reading.
Oh yeah, I can see you at Barnes and Nobles just doing that.
Exactly.
Wearing an ascot, and a pipe.
I have been looking for the right ascot lately.
Yeah.
So
you should hire one of those transgender chicks or whatever, and they can read. They can read
Story Hour.
Story Hour, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is.
Oh wait! I got to take this. A link of it
for
says,
sure.
I just watched Airplane the other day. It still made me laugh. Oh, that shit's
classic.
great.
Yeah, dude.
What were the ones with Charlie Sheen, the part two, the
Hot Shots?
Hot
Shots
Shots.
Hot Shots. One and two. Hot Shots 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I just saw a video the other day on TikTok, and it was David Letterman's tryout tape for Airplane. He was in the auditions for the role of the main character in Airplane.
Whoa.
Which I had never known about. So it was the whole Oh, when she's talking to him in the bed and he does a spit take about, I can't remember the exact line, but it was totally a line right straight from the movie. And David Letterman was auditioning for that role. So
The first time I saw David Letterman, it was one of those not quiz shows. My dad used to call them quiz shows, but like like Price is Right type of thing. And
sure.
it was called
Game shows?
something like the Liars Club.
Oh,
And so there was a panel of maybe 4 or 5 celebrities, and then they would get an object, and then one of them knew what the object was, but the other ones had to concoct lies of what it was, and then the contestant had to like go who's lying and who's not. And I remember David Letterman was absolutely hilarious on that show. And then a few years later, I see him, hosting his late night show, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that dude is a genius.
Yeah.
When Letterman first started, I was like hands down the biggest fan.
Oh yeah.
The only movie I've seen Letterman on was this movie with Daniel Stern, Cabin Boy. Very
Was
weird.
he in that?
Oh,
Yeah, very surreal
because
movie.
Chris Elliott and David Letterman go way back, and that was Chris Elliott's one big shot was that Cabin Boy movie.
Well, Chris Elliott was like a character on the Letterman. He was the man under the stairs or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he had
Chris
like a little
Elliott
trap. He had a little trap door, and he'd say like a one-liner or something. Yeah, it's the creepy dude.
Old school Letterman was the best.
Yeah.
Like late 80s through the 90s Letterman. Like he had so much like silly, like when he would go to the neighborhood shops around the thing and talk to the shop owners and like the little restaurants, and he would interview those guys. It was hilarious.
Dude,
well, I mean, he practically brought back the top 10 list. I mean, that was dead before he, he started doing it. And then just stupid stuff like, you know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Like, like he would say things that were just, it's not on it unto itself. It's not funny, but the way he would say it,
dude, and the characters, dude, and the games
created he created a lot of things that are kind of still used today, like the goofy sidekick. I don't know if you guys remember Larry Bud Melman.
Larry Bud Melman.
Oh, Larry Bud,
yeah. Manny the hippie. Remember Manny the hippie? And dude, like he would make games. Like for example, there's this one that always stayed with me. It's called "Will You Eat the Meatloaf?" It would be like in the middle of like 42nd Street, like all the cars coming in. The public phone will sound. If somebody picks it up, like, hey, there's some meatloaf right on top of the phone booth. Would you eat the meatloaf? And if they eat it, they will play like the meatloaf song, like da 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 da. And he won like something like, dude, it was like half an hour of hilarity. And it was a stupid game, but dude, like he made it work.
I'll tell you, like even stupid stuff like when they were throwing like watermelons off of like a 5-story building, and just watching them splat. And then there was the whole like they showed it in slow motion, and they just like threw like 5 or 8 of these things off one right after the other, and they had the camera right down. It almost looked like fireworks and everything.
It was awesome.
They had like music playing and stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
When he would call the secretary in the office building next door, and they would have the video cameras on there. It was very interesting because there was a very stalker-esque aspect to it. But then Dave would sit there and he would flirt with her on the phone, and it was like that was like juicy TV right there.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. I remember they had like go-karts, and they were go-kart racing down the halls of the offices and stuff. I mean, that show was awesome, man. But yeah, all that stuff. Like, can you imagine them trying to get something like that going now? They go, oh no, we can't do that because the lawyers say this. I mean, everything's so litigious.
All these late night talk show hosts are too busy like ripping on people for politics, and it's like, good God, nobody gives a shit anymore.
And talking about getting vaccinated, they're coming back on Monday.
You know
that? Yeah, there's advertisements all over the internet, like Kimmel's coming back live. It's like, does anybody really care?
Nobody.
That's not even funny.
You could throw a rerun of Big Bang Theory on there, and you get better ratings than Kimmel or Colbert combined.
Dude,
nobody gives a shit about those guys anymore.
I mean, they can throw reruns of Banana Splits, and it will do better than any of those shows. It's just nah.
Hey, what is TDS? Letterman was great before TDS.
I don't know.
Sounds like a disease.
Yeah.
So it must be some kind of censorship or something.
Is that Lockjaw?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You'll have to explain yourself, Marcus. We're not.
Yeah,
we're
dude,
not-
what's
We're not
TDS?
hip to TDS. It sounds like some kind of like venereal disease.
Yeah, and I mean, Letterman was good up till the end. I think he like earlier. I mean, obviously, when he was 10, 15 years earlier on, he was way more creative, way more fun. But like,
he got tired though. He got tired.
Oh,
towards the
I
end.
don't think. I mean, Letterman was well done before Trump was even anywhere close to being in politics.
Yeah, I think it was the corporate overlords and the lawyers were already kind of interceding in the creative process. And you know, we used to say the lawyers are the ones that ruin entertainment. And I think that was definitely the beginning of the end, because there used to be like radio shows, LA radio shows. There was a show called Mark and Brian, and they just did crazy shit, and they just said and did whatever they wanted every morning. And then ABC Cap Cities bought you know, the radio station. Oh my gosh, it died so fast. It became the most boring, sterile show within like months.
Corporate stooges. They kill creativity. It's why Rogan is as huge as he is, because like Rogan doesn't do crazy stuff, but Rogan will talk about whatever. Like he'll have a guest on, and there are no guardrails. It's like, we'll just talk about whatever. We'll get into crazy topics. We'll dive down this rabbit hole. And like, there's not much of that out there right now, where there's like freedom, like to just say whatever and not be scared of your corporate overlords stepping on your neck. And it's like all of these entertainment entities and industries, they've got all of these corporate people stamping out the creativity because they're scared of offending this group or that group, and then having them post it on social media and cancel them. And it's like, it's dulled down creativity. There's like no originality. It's garbage.
You know, just to connect some dots, maybe the lawyers started it, turned all those corporations into like fearful entities, right? So then like editors, art directors, you know, different, you know, people that were overseeing the creative people started becoming a little bit more, you know, afraid of
this, that, and the other.
And then and then they start going to the creatives and saying, well, maybe you should say this, maybe you should say that, maybe stay away from this topic, you know, that type of thing. And then, you know, we're here, you know, now where thank goodness those guys just destroyed, you know, mainstream entertainment. So now we get to do our own thing, and Maidens of Mayhem would probably never have existed if it wasn't for, you know, the clusterfuck that became, you know, the status quo.
I think I might have accidentally stopped.
Clint, I'm gonna let you talk about Maidens again, and I got to use the restroom because I've been.
Yep. Did I pop it up again? Do you have it, Arthur? Because
here it is. Here it is.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
It's all yours.
So I'll scroll through and talk a little bit, and definitely. So again, 60 pages here. Let me refresh and see where we're at here. We're at 282, 2864, 30 backers already. That is freaking fantastic. In just the first couple hours of the campaign. Thank you to everybody who's backed already. Love seeing it. If you guys are in the chat and are backing during the show, definitely let's see your backer number. And I love seeing that. Absolutely. So you know what I'll do right now? I haven't done this yet. Let's just play the video here. I haven't done the main video yet. We'll do that, and then I'll scroll through some of the rewards here. So check it out. Oops. Start it over here.
I can't hear the sound. Oh, there it is.
Wow.
It's epic.
There you go.
Epic memories.
Memories.
Yeah.
That was great.
They're just healthy, well-adjusted girls that are living their
Exactly.
lives.
Yeah.
Like I don't think art. Go
What's
ahead.
that? I was just gonna say, does anybody remember Earth Girls Are Easy? Like, wasn't there a movie?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. With
Absolutely.
Jeff Goldblum.
Davis
I think it was
and
Jeff Goldblum and Jim Carrey was in that movie, right?
yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So I do have one thing to show you at the bottom, Art. If you can pull the page up.
Oh
I don't
shit!
think.
Wait! I gotta add Gary. I'm sorry, Gary. I didn't see you. Nobody let me know.
Gary.
I hope you
What
haven't been there long.
heck did I stumble onto here? You
Boom.
guys, unfettered. This is what happened.
Yep. You let us out of our pins, out of our cages. But hey, Gary, I saw a Batman Joker piece that you posted. Holy shit balls, dude! That thing was amazing. Do you have it there? Do you have it scanned?
I do have a scan. It was a piece that I auctioned off on Graybeards.
Okay.
And so I was showing a sneak preview of a close-up of it. Those guys draw on stream, Kelsey and David and Aaron, and I trash talk while they draw.
That's good.
So Aaron does a auction every, I don't know, 10th show or 20th show, something like that. And so I put that up for auction, and I have to pat myself on the back. It kicked everybody's ass.
Hell yeah. That's always the best way, man. Just, go in there, talk shit, and then have a pre-made piece of artwork, post it up, and kick their asses.
I don't know about you guys.
It's not heavy lifting, man. It's the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I know, Art, you have a convention drawing style that like when you do commissions at the convention, it's different, a different type of drawing than your comic book work.
Yeah.
I never developed that. I never developed a convention drawing style. I used to bring my brushes and all that junk that I normally use for comic book pages, and that doesn't work at shows. You can't do that at shows. And so I just stopped doing commissions at shows. And I said, if you want a commission, I'll have to take it home. So that's why the main reason why I don't draw on a draw stream, because I never developed that. And it's like that piece that I showed, that Batman Joker piece, took me a couple of days, and they do their stuff in like 2 hours, which is remarkable to me. I mean, the quality of the work that they do in that short a time, with everybody giving everyone else crap about every little thing that they're doing. It's
well, why they can focus is because you're doing color commentary. Like you're the entertainment. Those guys are like doing all the drawing and stuff like that. That's why draw streams sometimes aren't that successful, because people just aren't that interesting as they're drawing, because they're focusing.
Right, and that was one of the problems Aaron
time.
had is that he wasn't reading the chat because he was drawing, and that's why Aaron brought me in to read the chat. And I don't say that I'm doing a great job. I don't read everything in the chat. Only stuff that I think is interesting or amusing, and people get mad at me for not reading their stuff.
Reading theirs.
Yeah. So hey, you say hey everybody in the chat. Marcus, who else is there? Richie, Pastor Dan. Thank you for putting up the past master, for putting up my link for my art book.
Well, Marcus says $500. Is that the Joker Batman piece?
Yeah, that's what I went for. Yeah, which was
Okay.
I would have been happy for half of that because it's an auction,
Yeah.
And the other thing
I
is,
think they still got their money's worth out of that piece.
Yeah.
That piece definitely, like, not all comic book artwork is worthy of a frame. That stuff really is. I mean, the only one that I know that puts that kind of level into all the hatching, cross-hatching and stuff is like Brian Bolin, and that's like, to put you in that category. That's the highest category in this industry.
and I hear that a lot, and I always blow that off because Boland is a guy that I try to be like sometimes, and Boland-esque, that's acceptable, but like
Boland-esque, that sounds like an Italian pasta dish. I got okay. Unhinge says draw streams are the best. Art hasn't been on, what is that, topic list? What is that? To see how awesome they are. No. I like them personally. I like to do them. I'm just saying, as a general rule, they don't do that well.
Right.
So it's not like what I think.
Well, it's the same thing if you're drawing at a show. You miss the show. You can't talk to people. You can't. Yeah. Do you guys, Clint? Do you do commissions at shows?
I've done commissions, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Is once you start drawing, and and especially like if you're a Marvel or DC guy and they're busy. I've never been that guy, but I've drawn at conventions. But I've also had friends that are like a Marvel or DC guy, and like your list fills up like that. And they're not at the show. They're there to draw as many commissions as they can,
right?
Because they're looking to maximize how much money they can make and pay for their show. I've been at conventions where I've drawn at shows, but yeah, when you're drawing, you're maybe talking to the people around the table, but you're missing the entire show. So it definitely affects that.
So Gary, here's a question for you. One slick dude. Gary, is your book ever going to actually launch?
Dude, you are missing the boat. It was launched like 3 weeks ago.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So go back a book, man. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. So the link is in the chat if you want to check it out. So Todd or Pedro, do you guys draw?
Here's the link. If you guys weren't paying attention, I'm sorry. This is Gary Barton's art book, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's all black and white, and I do believe each piece has its own page. So you're getting to see everything, because sometimes like art books, they'll have like 3 or 4 pieces on one page, and they get reduced where you can't see them. That's not Gary's thing. Gary's thing is big and bad and bodacious.
Because I like to do cross-hatching and that kind of stuff, and so if you shrink that down, what's the point? You're going to miss it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Gary draws his comics life size, so every panel is a life size human being. So every panel
is a wall.
You should see my scanner.
It's a wall.
Yeah, you should see my scanner.
It's quite huge. Yeah. And also just your storage, your the room where you put all your originals.
Do you go over 600 DPI?
To answer your question, Gary, for years I only started drawing like the Marvel characters and that stuff since October. Actually, I didn't spend my life drawing other people's characters or drawing the big 2 characters. You know what I mean? I was always drawing. I was seeking job. But whatever the character they wanted me to draw, But I didn't do that. I wasn't like that, like drawing a Wolverine a week or something like that. That was never me until recently when I started doing sketch cards.
Well, that's what
I made the mistake.
That's what people want.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, Gary.
I had an agent. And he was booking me to shows and stuff like that. And I was doing a lot of shows for maybe about a 5 or 6 year period. And it was mostly because my daughter was she was old enough that she could travel. So, and she's also an artist. So we would set up, next to each other. She would draw, I would draw, and we'd go all over the place. And I remember, I'll never do this again, but it was, I think it was in Dallas. And the agent was like, hey, come by, have a drawing done by art, whatever. And he was talking to the people. So then I could, kind of like what you do on the live stream, Gary, with Aaron. You do the talking, you do the entertaining, and then, those guys can kind of, bang out their artwork. And so that's what he was doing for me. And I was very grateful. But what he was doing that I didn't know is he was booking these things like crazy, because he had no idea how many I could do in a day. I really didn't either. There were almost 30 drawings I did that one day, that one show. I didn't bring one single drawing back to the room. And
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you have to do any in your room?
No, I just did them all there. The people were there. But what I did do is there were people coming by, and they were like, these are really reasonably priced, because I think I was doing my drawings for like $30. Now I charge like $150, $170.
Well, see, that's why you had 30. That's why you had 30, is because you were
exactly. Yeah,
they
were coming up. Yeah, and they were doing that, and then so I was like, the agent guy that was repping me, I said, 30, like you booked like 28, 29, whatever. And he goes, yeah. And I said, did you tell them how much? He goes, no. He said, but I think, that's what it was. Somebody came to the table, and he said, the word's getting out that you're doing $30 drawings. And then I turned to my agent. I go, not anymore.
That's why they were lining up.
And I think by the end of that show, I was in, like 100 plus, for the same drawing, just as I went. And I asked them, if they thought it would be cool to do, because you always think like, well, how legit is this if you start raising your prices? And they said, nah, you were just giving those drawings away before, so we understand. So, I learned a valuable lesson the hard way. It was a lot of work. Yeah. So, Gary, I don't know if you've heard Clint Helinski. He's a brilliant artist. How many campaigns have you done and fulfilled? 5, 6?
2 Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch, 2 Pirate Queen, 1 Blue Bombshell, 1 Sword Maiden, or no, 1 Slave Girl from Planet X, and now I'm fulfilling Superiors right now. So once I fulfill Superiors, that'll be 7 campaigns that I've done.
So this is your 8th campaign.
This will be my 8th
Gary,
campaign.
This guy is prolific, man.
You're
And
an animal. Based on your titles, I'm detecting a motif.
Yeah, I'm trying to like capture my little niche of the Comicsgate audience here. So.
Yeah, well, that's my.
Gary, I don't know
if my very first one. So it's all new to me. So I definitely listen to you guys when you talk about this stuff.
It's a dirty niche, but it's his.
Yeah, but it's not. It's kind of like a dirty niche in this, like, SJW, purified world.
It's awesome.
And we were talking early on, like John Hughes films and like Meatballs and all these different movies when we were kids. I mean, they were just as risque, if not more. Even Blazing Saddles, it's true.
And all this stuff has existed in comics. Like I'm like, my favorite artist is Adam Hughes, one of my favorite artists, and Frank Cho, Terry Dodson, all these guys that do the Cheesecake Good Girl art, And I mean, there was a thing in the 90s that was awesome. It was short-lived, unfortunately, but Penthouse Comics. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Well, that wasn't cheesecake. That was porn.
Well, it was. It went beyond cheesecake.
And beyond
But those guys were showing up for those penthouse page rates too.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
who did that? Who did that Stripperella? Was that same or was
that was Stan Lee?
That was Stan Lee, right?
That Stripperella was Pam Anderson and Stan Lee. So, like, yeah, Stan was knocking people out of the way to get next to Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that they definitely earned that money. They those page rates were really high, and those guys brought it.
Yeah.
I mean,
those books were like, they were beautiful looking books. Kevin McGuire.
Kevin Nolan just did one.
Yep. There were a lot of top name guys that were doing really beautiful work. So, and I was a fan of that stuff. I like that stuff. That's kind of what I'm doing with these books here. So, if you're a fan of that kind of cheesecake, verging on whatever, it's not full on porn, but it's right in that nice area. I put it in the gray area. So
that's why I was saying, like, the John Hughes films, like, there's a little titillation, there's some innuendo, there's all the above.
Bare boobs. They're going to be bare boobs in my comics. So this
and you know what? Even what was his name? Paul Verhoeven. Like, Paul Verhoeven films, to me, they had like a young teen sensibilities, right? Yeah. They're like a lot of blood and a lot of TNA, kind of thing.
And people getting shot in the crotch.
Yeah.
So here's some artwork from the interiors. This is Sword Maidens right here. Definitely Sword Maidens. Fantasy, swords and sorcery. It's basically if Red Sonja had a twin sister. That would be this book right here. So
I'm getting a little Sheena, Mistress of the Jungle, and also
Warrior Princess.
Yeah, and what was the other one? Like Beastmaster?
Yeah. Like all those good 80s kind of sci-fi vibes. Yeah, it's definitely.
Oh, yeah, dude. Instead of having ferrets, give one of them a beaver.
Yeah.
So Sheldon says so there's only minor penetration?
That's called the brush, Sheldon.
It's all filtered through my brain into these comics. So.
Yeah.
And then,
do I see detect a resemblance there in that wizard dude?
Oh, me? Oh God, am I that old already? Maybe. When I drew it, I didn't look that old, but I might look that old now.
Nonsense.
This is Pirate Queen, the new Pirate Queen story, alien harem, alien girls. But what I really want to do is I want to get down to the bottom, because I don't even think. Art, I'm going to skip over a little stuff because Art hasn't seen my newest character.
Uh-oh.
So here, Art is introducing the Blue Bombshell's biggest and breast rival, Super Tits.
Nice.
I read that as a Supert It's.
Yeah, Supert It's. Yeah.
Oh,
maybe like a hyphen, like Spider-Man, like do a hyphen.
Right.
Basically, I need to pull up the original because I altered it so that I didn't have any copyrighted stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not
the blue bombshell
in my Indiegogo page. So I'm gonna get out of this and I'm gonna share something else with you, Art, so you can see the original.
Okay.
Because the original is a little bit more of a laugh.
So the blue bombshell is not happy with us. Is the character's name Super Tits? Is that
so? Super Tits is a lonely fans model, and she's discovered, or she gains superpowers through one of her super simps. One of her simps is like a scientist. So to gain this lonely fans model's attention, he like gives her superpowers through her computer. And it's very much a take on these girls dressing up as superheroes in real life to gain followers for their online sites. So they're like, as as risque and as cheesy as all this is, it is based off of what's going on in real life right now.
Yeah.
With a lot of these girls like dressing up as superheroes, calling it cosplay. And is that okay? That is Sharon now. Okay. So I'll zoom in on that.
So you changed the costume on the one girl in the background, right?
Yeah, all three of the characters in the background, I changed the costume on because I don't want to be advertising copyrighted characters on the Indiegogo page. But on Twitter, it's fan art. On the Indiegogo page, it's part of the book, is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So what's the actual printed art going to be? Is it going to be these three characters?
No, the printed art will be what's on the Indiegogo page. This is just for fun on Twitter. So like Super Tits shows up and we got Power Girl back here in the corner saying, "You've got to be fucking kidding me." And then Superman is like, "Super what now?" And Batman's like, "Let me guess, another cousin."
That's a good one.
And Blue Bombshell is, "Hey, I thought I was going to be the star of this book," giving her the look in the background, and she's like, "No, you had your 15 seconds of fame, sweetie. Now it's time to give the people what they want, and that's me." So, Super Tits is going to be. This is the digital backup story you can get. It's going to be her origin story, and Super Tits is going to be Blue Bombshell's new rival in her book coming out next year. So. This is a little teaser, a little appetizer, if you will, towards the next Blue Bombshell story. But
yo, Clint.
Yep.
Can I just say something? I mean, I knew the boob window. This is like a boob barn door, man. Like that goes down to her belly button.
Yeah. Well,
nice.
You can imagine. All the and I'm taking this from what these girls are doing, what I'm seeing they're posting online. These girls are not bashful. They're out there to make a buck or two.
Yeah, of course.
Or $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like, I'm just like Dateline. I'm just like Law and Order SVU or SUV, depending on if they're driving the truck. I'm taking this directly from the real world and filtering it into comics. So I stand on the moral high ground with Super Tits.
I mean, I can see the morality from here.
Yeah, I can see the morality. Yeah.
I feel all of you judging me now. But
not at all, dude.
I refuse to care.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Clint. We all judge you, but we judge you in like, man, I can't believe you get away with this. I can't believe this is working.
I'm getting away with all of it right now.
Yeah, Clint, you're talking about cosplayers. Art, do you remember the days when if there was like one single female at a con that was halfway attractive, that's all anybody talked about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the thing. That was the thing. It's like, you see that girl way over there? I think she might be good looking.
And her name was Wendy Penny. Remember Wendy Penny?
Artist Pro Secrets in the house.
I never saw her.
ABS is in the house.
Oh, cool! But do you remember Wendy? Do you remember Wendy Penny?
Oh yeah,
dressed up like Red Sonja.
Yeah, she dressed up like hang out with Frank Thorne.
Yeah,
Frank Thorne. Yeah, and also she, I think she was in Playboy. She was featured. Well, not featured. She didn't do anything nude, but they did an article, I should say. Hey, what's up? What's up, E? How you doing, brother?
Hey.
Hope everything's going good. Everybody go check out Ethan's new book, Cyberfrog. He's all over social media. Check it out.
Yeah.
Red Extermination. Yeah. Oh, I got this.
What you got?
What do you got?
I got one of these.
Oh, look at that, dude. Whoa.
Are you going to play with it, or is it going to stay in the box?
No, I'm a hardcore geek. I keep everything all pristine in the boxes and everything. And also, they're kind of cool because you could hang them on the wall. So I just got to get around to displaying this bad boy.
That's really why everybody should have got two of them. One to hang and one to play with.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel weird playing.
I used to collect 1 12-inch, like 1/6 scale figures, like superheroes, Captain America, Bruce Lee, that kind of stuff. But then once I would get it, it's like, now what do I do with this?
Yeah.
I know, right?
I don't want to play with it, but that's really, I'm kind of past that age.
Yeah.
And so it's like you put it on your shelf and you look at it and it's like, now what? And so I just ended up I stopped buying those things. Plus they're, darn expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but I have a shelf over here, and I rotate stuff. So I have my geeky stuff, and then when I get tired of it or I have to dust it, I'll pull it all down, and then I have a little storage around the corner here, and then I just pull out the new stuff and display it. But I know what you mean, Gary. Like the old Hack Shack Studios, I had bookshelves all over the place. So I had all kinds of like McFarlane stuff, everything. And when I moved out of the studio, I couldn't really justify packing it up. So I just gave it to the guys that worked at the studio. Like I couldn't, pack it up. It was just like, what am I going to do with this stuff at
Right. What do
house?
you do with it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus the dusting and, all that, it becomes,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is if you, depending on how your life goes, those shelves will either be filled with like knick-knack crap or your collectibles. You know what I mean? I'll almost rather have like action figures and stuff on there as opposed to like some potpourri vase kind of like.
Oh yeah, thanks.
It's like either way you're dealing with dusting it and cleaning it. You're like, how did I collect all this shit? And it's
Clint, you're missing another one. Like if you leave shelf space open, your wife is gonna fill it with ugly relative pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's like.
You
I already know what all my in-laws look like. They're all
exactly
ugly.
like
they're all ugly.
let's put a picture of Von Bester. No, I'd rather have Batman. Thank you.
Let's have.
No,
I
don't want to make it seem like I don't have stuff. I have stuff all over the place. I just, I went from like boxes and boxes of it to just like, maybe 2 or 3 boxes. You know what I mean?
Hey,
of stuff.
Randy Howell, back of 36 for a 3-pack.
Yeah, we got to pay. Oh, nice, Randy, awesome, man. Thanks for the hammer.
Yeah.
Should we do a little update on the total art? Because I think we're
let's.
We're kicking some ass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on. You know what I did? I had a tab open, so we can do it from where we started before the show. Let me let me share this. Do it. My computer. Come on. There we go. All right. Maidens of Mayhem. Share. Here we go. All right. You guys can see this now?
Yeah. 2145. There you go.
Yeah, but this is where we started. So 25 back.
The refresh. Yeah, we're way past
Hit the refresh. 25 backers. Let's see where we're at now. 32.
Whoa. Nice.
There we go. We got 2 more backers. We're at 30 before we
seven backers. 7 backers in since the show started. 3,014. This bad boy's just begun. So you guys, Clint is a great guy. He's CG through and through. He does great work, fun work, and the dude comes through. Like he has fulfilled 7 campaigns. This is his 8th campaign, and just fun ass stuff. You're gonna enjoy it, and there's all kinds of different packages that you can back, and there's some pretty risque stuff too. And the tromboner's back, so
the tromboner returns. Everyone's favorite supervillain.
Yeah, the tromboner, man. He'll blow you. He'll blow you good. Yeah,
there is going to be a new art book in this at the highest tier. You're going to get a new art book with a new Blue Bombshell backup story and you're gonna get like a bunch of the rogues gallery of the Blue Bombshells arch enemies, like the Gangbanger and Captain Thundercock. He's a rooster themed superhero. So
Obviously, yeah.
there's a bunch of good stuff in these reward tiers that you want to check out. You'll get the digital adult origin story of Super Tits.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a theme going throughout, but it's all fun. It's all good-natured, lighthearted. These are I would say superhero sex comedies. Sword Maidens is definitely in the realm of like Conan, Red Sonja. The Pirate Queen story definitely has comedic elements to it, but lots of good, fun action adventure based on a solid story underneath it. And then
oh man,
you get comedic aspects. I'm sorry to cut you off. This woman's got ahead. Like three. She's got three.
She got three boobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Three boobs. Yeah.
The tribal gag.
When two just isn't enough, it's one for each hand and then the face in the middle.
Yeah.
To do the motorboat.
Yes.
Yeah. No, the things like that will make the motorboat a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Because you need the
little something for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus in the chat hit the nail.
Yeah. Gary's like, what? Wait, what?
That's what he's gotten into. Sorry, Gary.
What the heck is going on here?
Oh,
Gary is a classically trained professional comic book artist with a long history in comics.
He's a serious artist.
And I'm a dirty scrub who's just trying to get by.
He's being subjected to this filth. I'm sorry, Gary.
I'm sorry.
Well, I haven't left yet.
I haven't left
yet. I think my favorite thing is just like when Aaron Lepresti does live streams with me. There's something about like somebody you think is really on the up and up, and then you start doing like bad things in front of them. It just makes it that much more enjoyable. Yeah. And I'm not saying you're like that, Gary. I don't really know, but maybe just because you're quiet, and you're low key, it seems like you're wholesome.
No, it seems like he's processing.
That's the image that I want to put out there.
Yeah, he's processing the situation, going like, is this
he's
good
like
for my career? Should I?
Well, it's always like quiet people is always like they're quietly judging you, right? They're always like thinking their thoughts, like. Yeah, so you don't know what side what side they're on, like who they're backing. You don't know, like if you said something wrong or not. It's always the same kind of poker face.
Yeah, I just try not to say anything that I will regret. So that's why I don't talk that much.
Yeah, well, everything I say I regret. So.
Well, that's the thing. That you do a live stream, and you look back, and why did I say that?
You can get yourself in trouble on a live stream.
You can't take it back. It's out there, man. And,
it's in the ether.
I also like at first when I started live streaming, I was like, don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake. And then inevitably you do, right? And then you dwell on it for a couple days. And then you realize like, no, that's really kind of the fun of doing these things. It's saying stupid stuff, doing stupid things. And I think that there's a voyeuristic aspect to this, like people watching the live streams. And it's kind of like going to like an auto race and you kind of secretly hope to see a car wreck. You want to see some crash and burn. So like secretly, I think when you watch these live streams, you want to see something nutty happen.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. We don't want to see the old lady falling down the stairs. It's just.
And I mean, there are people that get into it. There are people that get into it with each other on live streams. And bring the drama and get in the fights and the arguments, and like there's an aspect of that gets you an audience. Like I'm less. I'd rather do the TNA comic book than fight with people on a live stream.
Yeah,
so it's kind of a different.
Yeah, some people enjoy that.
People love drama. Drama sells. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, now I know is if I do, sorry, Art.
Go ahead.
If I do a live stream, I don't think about people on the show that I've made laugh, which that's what I'm trying to do. I think about the dumb stuff that I've said. And,
Oh.
instead of thinking
Well-
about, I made somebody laugh, and that's how, because you don't know how somebody's going to take something.
Yeah.
And I tend to have a dry sense of humor. A lot of times people don't know if I'm joking or not. I'm joking 90% of the time.
For what it's worth, I'm afraid to show you my stuff, Gary.
You're afraid?
Terrified.
Hey, Art,
do you have it? Let's see it, man.
Oh no! Wait, let me see. What can I show that has no boobs or filth in it?
Why would you even say that doesn't have any boobs? Like this is.
I'll draw you a boob variant, Pedro.
Yeah. Oh, would you? Okay.
Yes, I would.
Oh.
Wait. Sheldon says that's fear talking, Gary. Don't be gay. What did Gary say? I didn't. I thought Gary was fine. Yeah.
What am I afraid of making a mistake? Is that what he's referring to? Saying something.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Don't be gay. I think that's funny.
Is that equate gayness as fear? Is that I've not heard that. I've not heard
well,
that.
According to Sheldon, it does.
Yeah.
It's all Comicsgate here, so you got to go pretty far to offend someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is one of the damn good things about Comicsgate is this isn't SJW territory. This isn't worried about offending people. It's like this is back to what we're used to, what we grew up on, is like people can say stuff and talk how you want to and not worry about consequences. This isn't Comicsgate is not cancel culture.
No.
This is not like trying to get people because they didn't, say the right thing or whatever.
Right.
And that's why I love Comicsgate.
Yeah, here. Hey, what's up, Todd?
I have a question for Gary. Are we going to see any the moth anymore? Ever again?
It's interesting that you asked that. I had a long conversation with the dude this morning. That he's wrapping up his Nexus project. The artwork is done. It's in the coloring stage and editing stage, and we're talking about doing another moth. We started another series years ago, like 10 years ago, and then that's when Rude Dude first started, and they ran out of funds, and so we couldn't finish it. And so it's been like sitting on a shelf all this time. He started drawing it. He's got pages drawn that no one has seen yet, and so we are. I think if short of his crowdfunding for this current Nexus project, that being a complete disaster, I think we'll probably be doing another mall.
Oh, cool. Dude.
Nice.
Marcus has a question. He says, do you miss inking Steve Rude?
That's an interesting question. Art, did you get a chance to ink him?
No.
Do you have any pencil artists that you ink that it's like a bittersweet experience? That inking Steve, it takes all my Jedi powers. It's something that I really, because it's kind of, my inking style is more Bolandish, and Steve is more Al Williamson, more old school illustrative, Alex Raymond, that kind of thing, which is more, I would say, Joe Rubenstein, guys like that Tom Palmer, little looser type inkers, where that's their natural tendency. My natural tendency is to ink tight. I don't try to be ink tight. That's just what I do. And so I have to loosen up. I have to think about loosening up for Steve. And that's hard for me. But the final result, it's very satisfying. So that's what I mean by, sword. It's satisfying, but it's hard.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
And he's
I
very
don't-
demanding. Yeah, he's very demanding. And he's demanding in ways, and I've told the story before, he doesn't ask me to do specific techniques or styles. He says stuff like, ink this shape, make it scary.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
very
that's
direction.
tricky.
I mean, that's completely open to interpretation.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to, he communicates with feelings, not necessarily, okay, scary. Well, what technique is that? You know, what tool do I use? I don't have a.
Can you send me the scary brush?
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
maybe this scary rush.
Yeah. So he's hard to ink, but it's really satisfying. Like when I'm done, you know, it's like I look at it and say, you know, that was a good day's work.
Yeah, you like the results, but you don't enjoy the process.
Exactly.
Well, what do you think of Vaughn's comment here, Gary?
Yeah.
Gary likes it tight.
No comment.
Yeah.
No comment. No, I know what you're saying. Like, I think too, for me, my biggest fear when I'm inking is sometimes going into a job, you don't know if there's going to be chemistry or not. You don't know if it's going to work or not. There have been people that I thought it's never going to work, that absolutely, the blending was perfection. The worst is when you're working on a penciler, you're inking, and it's just not working. Like all your tricks, you keep trying stuff, but there's no chemistry. You're not complimenting the work. There's just nothing really happening. And I'm not going to name names, but I was on a book for over a year that was like that. And every day was just, it was cringe. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want it not to work. I wasn't trying. I wasn't like just giving up. I was really trying every time I put the brush or the pen down. But man, it was just swimming upstream. It just never worked.
What's worse for me is when I think I'm nailing it. You know, at the end of the day, I'm patting myself on the back, but the penciler doesn't like it.
Oh,
and so they have something else in mind, and you don't know what it is because it's in their head.
Yeah.
They can't tell you what it is. And you think you're doing, this is how he should be inked. And they're like, no, you're not doing it right. It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
for me, there's that where it's like the penciler's like it's not working. I don't like that. I don't think anybody likes when you're working with somebody and they just go, this isn't working. But the other is when a penciler micromanages you.
Right. Yeah.
And I hate that more.
I would say that's worse.
Yeah, I'd rather just crash and burn, get fired, and move on. I once again, I'm not going to name names, but there's been a handful of people that just were so hands-on, and I was at the point where I was just like placating them on the phone. I didn't do anything they asked me to. It was instinctually, it wasn't right. I knew that what I was doing was good. And on a lot of these jobs, I actually had the fans in my corner. I had people come actually to me and say they liked the take on it. Actually, I'll just name names. One of them was Carlos Pacheco on X-Men. We did probably almost 2 years of a run. And, he was very complimentary. He was like, there's a lot of energy, a lot of movement you bring, but then over the time, it'd be like, it's not quite what I'm looking for, and I'm not the kind of guy that's like, well, what are you looking for? Like, I don't want to open myself to that. So then I just keep doing my thing. And then, you do conventions and you hang out with other artists and stuff. And they're like, I've never seen Carlos' work look like that. Whatever you're doing, it looks amazing. It looks great, blah, blah, blah. And these are my peers. These are people I respect. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing something right. So I'm going to stick to my guns and I'm going to continue doing it this way. And sure enough, I did get fired. And he got, what is it, Jesus Marino? And then,
Oh yeah.
you know, I mean, that guy's brilliant, and he gave him more what he wanted. But for me, I knew what he wanted. He wanted Alan Davis. He wanted Paul Neary. You know, that's what he wanted. But to me, sometimes, Gary, I don't know how if you feel this. Like, I know what they want, but I don't want to give it to them because those artists already exist. Those people already exist. So why do it that way?
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have to tip my hat to Steve about is that when I would ink something of his, a job, send him the pages, he would call me up and we would go over the pages panel by panel, frame by frame. Oh, I really like, you know, what you did here. And he'd tell me why. And then it's like, and then over here, you know, I don't like this at all. You could have done this, you know, this way. He wouldn't just say, you know, I don't like this. He would tell me why and what I could have done differently. So it was like an art class.
Nice.
And he did that with every job. Not
well, I do have to say when I first started working with Wills Portaccio, Wills was kind of a teacher, you know, but I was starting and I was open to it. You know what I mean? I think there's a difference when you've been working in the business, you know, for, I don't know, 10 plus 20 years, whatever. And then somebody tries to do that. To me, I'm just like, well, why did you hire me? Like, you knew what I could do. You know, why did you hire me if you didn't want to, you know, let me go and do what I do, you know? But let's get back.
I'm sharing my screen. I mean, Gary wanted to see what I do.
No. We want to see this for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to see it. Please zoom in.
Yeah, give me a zoom. Hey, Pedro, you're on, so you take it. I got to use the restroom.
Okay, do it. So yeah, this is from the book I'm working on right now, Waifus and Kaiju. So it's mechs, kaijus, and hot chicks. And this is an alien species getting to Earth, and they bring kaijus with them. So now
are you doing everything on this book?
Yes, I'm doing everything. And so there's gonna be boobs. So
nice. See, I can work a variant cover with that, Pedro.
Oh, cool. Yeah, oh, dude, I'm gonna take your word on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a species called Dugorian. They're escaping their planet, and this is like the big bad, which is like a symbiote that will interpret your DNA and make kaijus. So basically, it turns your world against you. And this is them escaping. Taking a little hint from like Star Trek and whatnot.
Nice world building. Nice spaceship designing.
Yeah. I like your color choices.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to make like very grim like environment, so went really hard with the shadows and the alien like language and whatnot. And this is the pilots mounting their mechs. These are both alien mechs. And they're like,
wow,
communicating and off into space.
This is good stuff, Pedro.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And then like the symbiote is shooting. We're calling them spores. So like basically kaijus grow up from them. And they attack another ship that's trying to escape, and the guy just started growing and basically blow up the ship.
That's some wild stuff. Crazy designs.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I like your designs a lot.
Yeah, so this book is gonna be available for the signees. Like we're gonna do a book on the prologue, which is going to be 28 pages of art. It's going to be 32 pages, and that book is going to be a part of the 130-page book, which is like the first arc of the story. Waifus and kaijus. Like, there's not that many waifus on the prologue because it's like the alien escaping, but it's a good like premise. Is after the prologue, like 30 years have passed, and the aliens are like training people from Earth to be ready to face this.
Wait, go back to that. That's cool too, but go back to that page. Man, those reds and yellows and
yeah,
the browns, and then the blue, the cool coming in there.
Yeah.
This is really nice stuff.
Yeah, I've been taking notes, man. Like I work with you, Art, and I've learned a lot. That's the thing. So thank you.
The colors are amazing.
Well, thank you. Like coming in there and splitting that thing, that is really dynamic and really cool.
Yeah, it reads really well. It's very
Thank
clear
you.
what's going on, and all your levels are separated, and it's so easy to overdo something like this. But this is very clear.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing this book. Like I keep telling the writer, because I mean, first it was like, yeah, chicks with tits, robots, and kaijus, and I just came up with the characters and sent them their way. But he wrote like an amazing story. So the scope and the heroism is like intense. Like you guys really gonna enjoy it.
Well, Tech TF is saying, first time seeing this, is there a sign up? So why don't you give some of? I think somebody's been posting some of the links in the description. Wait, I have a link. Hold on, let me see if I still have it. Yeah, here's a link for the sign up page, Tech. So go check that out. Sign up. And
another cool thing about this book is that it's in the promos, like the people of Earth interpret the alien technology and came up with their own mechs, but the mechs are imbued with the culture of each country. So this is the American pilot, Daryl Watson.
Nice. Oh my God. Look at that design.
He pilots Iron Mike, his mech. And the other,
you know what's cool now, Pedro? Like knowing you and seeing a lot of your work now, you got a style. And you know, like that means a lot, because there's a lot of people, they do comics, they do it for a while, but they don't have a voice. You know what I mean? They don't have a style. And you do. I mean, when I see this stuff, I don't go anywhere else. I don't go, oh, this is Humberto Ramos. Oh, this is J. Scott Campbell or whatever. I go, this is Pedro Ng. You know what I mean? Like, this is you. Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, this is the other American pilot. I'm blanking on the names now. Her name is.
Good thing you didn't create them.
Yeah.
Hey, name Schmame. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So this is
Schmame. Is Schmame her name?
Yeah, no, it's not. This is Sophia
it
Ryan.
Is now.
This
her
is
name
Sophia
Schmame.
Ryan from Ireland, and this is her mech called Morrigan.
Yeah, you got a redhead, a fiery redhead.
Yeah, you gotta have a redhead, and this is like the people's favorite. Like of all the angels, this is the people they like the most. Soojin Kim from Korea, and.
There's something about the glasses, you take them off, and then
exactly.
She's all business.
So,
or if you're really like into the kink, you say, hey, can you keep them on?
Yeah. Some people are into that. And this is the pilot from India.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, with Rama and that's the thing. It's like an 8 mech team that's. Like getting ready. Where's the other guy? Here's the pilot from Spain, Silvestre Villaverde.
The bullfighter. Look at the cockiness. You got the gesture and the face. That's perfect, man.
Yeah, I mean, we are planning on doing Ashkins on each of them. Get like other artists. Because, for example, his backstory is amazing. Because he's a bullfighter, but he doesn't want to kill bulls, so he's been fighting with his family his whole life. So and he's trained as a bullfighter. So when the program came, he got in and he's like, I'm going to mix with the bull. So he's like, he's not killing the bull. He is the bull, and he's going to defend Earth. And he has like this relationship with his father, because, I mean, he never wanted to kill the bull in Pamplona, even though he's like the best bullfighter in his family. Like, I don't know. It's a nice story we're making with him. And I think there's another pilot. Oh, the Chinese pilot. And
the
this guy is
a pilot.
Yeah, handsome Tian Yu. He's a dick, but
he's a pig.
Yeah. Okay, so if you go Journey to the West, everybody does the Monkey King, right? Like Sun Wukong. But in Journey to the West, there's the pig god. He like used to cook people, like they will wrap pigs around people and cook them and sell them in this restaurant. Like that's the original story. And in Dragon Ball, they had like the little pig character that represents that. So I said, like, if I'm gonna go to China, I'm gonna use Journey to the West, I might use another character. So I chose the pig god. And when I drew the mech first, like who would pilot it, and I designed this guy, and he's like very cocky. Like he calls himself Handsome Tianyu. Like he thinks that he's the shit. And I don't know, like there's gonna be a lot of clash of personalities.
It turns out he's just shit.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, no, because he wants to save Earth too. He's just a dick about it. So, yeah, well, I mean, James is having a lot of fun writing the story. I'm having a lot of fun drawing it. And this is the big bad. Right here is this Lord Cersec. And he's the guy who makes the kaijus from that huge structure I showed you before.
Did you put the logo together as well?
Yeah.
That looks great.
Well, thanks. So yeah, so that's Waifus and Kaijus. I'm working really hard. We want to reach 200 signups before we launch the project. And I'm already on page 29 of the book.
Nice.
So,
Well, here's the link again, you guys. I just dropped it in the chat. Go, everybody that's listening right now, everybody that will listen, on the reruns, go by. It doesn't cost you anything. Just go sign up. And a lot of time there's cool freebies that are involved in the pre-launch signups. So Pedro's good. Pedro did a black and white book with me on the campaign, the Man versus Machine campaign. He did the animated adventures, and fantastic. The dude delivers. The style is great. It's fresh. It's original. And it's always bombastic. There's always stuff moving. Just great stuff. So go sign up. Like I said, for Pedro's, there's a lot of links in the description, and not in the description, in the chat. And after the show, I'll drop a link in the description for any latecomers. So yeah, Pedro, it looks fantastic. I can't wait.
It does. Looks great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm having fun doing it.
I could tell you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, I mean, I have an animation background, and as I said, like I'm not that confident in my inking. Like I'm learning. I'm practicing every day, so I just like really rely on the movement and the action to tell the story. So
there's a real shorthand thing that I showed you, and just remember foreground, midground, background.
Yeah.
For your style, it'll rock it, man. The only thing is, I think you're used to just moving because the animation, like you just move at a breakneck speed. Yeah. And so some of that inking, I asked Gary, you kind of got to slow down.
It takes a little time.
And you got to kind of evaluate midground, background, foreground.
Yeah.
And also there's an inker trick that when two lines intersect, it could be even on the same figure or a foreground, background figure. They should never be the same line weight. They should always vary in line weight.
No tangents.
Well,
the tangents I know.
Tangents can be in the drawing. Most of the time they are. But what it does is that there's two lines that cross that are different line weights. It's always more interesting, and they delineate from each other. And I think it's more of a dynamic thing. And then obviously, if it's a foreground, you use a thicker line, midground, a medium line weight, and then background, a thinner line weight. And it's a real sure way to delineate planes and just help readability because it prioritizes things for the reader.
And aside from just straight up storytelling in varying line weights, the eye likes variety. So if you look at a drawing or something that's inked that all the line weights the same, somebody used a pen, just one thickness of a pen to ink the whole thing, as versus to having heavier contours and then the interior lines and doing delicate stuff inside the figure. The design of it appeals more than something that ends up being monotonous. And a lot of new professionals don't understand that. and their drawing might be solid, and then they ink it, and it just looks flat.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing I see, Pedro, because your control's good. You got everything going. And I know, I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, the line weight thing. I think it's just a matter of speed, but you got it down, man. You got it down. It looks great. And everything, like it's the color, it's the color that you do. You establish planes with the color. You bring all that detail out. There's always readability with your work. And I think, like Gary and I are more from and even Clint from the assembly line kind of days, where one guy does one thing, one guy does another thing. And so you just kind of, you don't know exactly where the piece is going to go, with 2 or 3 different people working on it. But since you are like a self-contained art unit, then you know what I mean? Like you can do it with the color, when you draw.
Yeah, something, you know what you're going to be doing with the color, and you can set yourself up.
Yeah,
exactly. I tried using colorist, and it only works for covers. Because for interiors, like there's something with the color language, like the things I want to convey. Like once I got the script, that like I had to correct the a colorist like 4 times, and it's like, no, this is not gonna work. Because like it's true. Like I'm a self-contained unit.
That's not you're doing the coloring on this book, right?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I tried getting a colorist. And,
I was going to say that's not uncommon, because a lot of color artists, you don't get that many that are team players. They kind of, they're trying to make their own statement.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a portfolio piece to show off for other work. And so for someone to follow, your storytelling and your lighting effects and your moods and all that stuff that you're laying down in the black and white, that's actually rare.
Yeah, it's rare. And the thing is, like, I gave them the script, like, dude, like figure out what's happening and allow the color to speak, or at least to support what's happening. And it was just like, no, this looks cool. Like, dude, like looks great, but it's not the lighting, it's not the mood. Like you're popping things that should be behind. It was just like, nah, it wasn't working.
Yeah,
I noticed what you were doing with some of the line art is you were knocking it back too.
Yeah.
And that really helps establish planes. There's some colorists that suck at it, and there's some colorists that are amazing at it.
Yeah.
Before I left, Gary's gonna love this. Before I left DC, I started doing it to my line art. Like I would knock back my own line art.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Tone it.
I did the same thing. Yeah, stuff that I want, light, I would gray tone it, and digitally, because you scan the stuff in already.
Yes.
And because you can't trust a lot of color artists to do simple things.
Yeah.
And I got to the point to where I was working for Marvel. I stopped looking at the comic book that they would send me comps, because I knew I was going to be sad. So I literally stopped looking at what was the coloring over my work, because I knew I was going to be disappointed.
You know what? I stopped doing that maybe my first or second year in the industry. I stopped looking at the book because it's always disappointing, man.
I'd be at a show, and somebody bring up a comic for me to sign, and they was like, could you sign it on like the splash page, which was forced me to open it up and look at it, and then I was like, I don't remember seeing this, and I was like, oh, okay, this is why.
Yeah.
Here, sign it, please take it away.
Was it the printing or was it the color coding? It was weird.
It was the choices the colors was making.
Oh, okay.
And they tend to, like I say, want to show off.
Colorists
show off in computer coloring. You just it drowns the black and white.
It muddies everything. Yeah.
And I do stuff. Guys, pencilers would ask for me that wanted to do cross-hatching in their work. It's like, I'm sure Art, you got that too, of like certain special effects that you would do. they want you to do those special effects. Crosshatching was one of the things that I did. And then colorists would just like put a dark color on top of the crosshatch,
Oh no!
and you couldn't even see it. And I'm spending 45 minutes on this, panel of just the crosshatching, and then it's like, why is this black? I mean, didn't I do something here? It's just most of them were clueless.
Yeah.
You know, this is the story I'm going to share. It was between Aaron Lepresti and myself. Okay, so we're doing Detective Comics, and he's not happy with what I'm doing, right? And so then we just, you kind of talk and you part your separate ways, and he and I have had a great relationship, so we actually could talk about this stuff and not step on each other's toes. So we're separating the artwork, right? Some people let the studio, DC or Marvel do it, and some artists like to divvy them up, But
Well, you have the pages, so why send them back to the company and let them do that?
Right. So we're breaking the pages up. I send him the pages, and he's looking over the pages, and then he gives me a call. And he says, "This stuff's really good." He said, "These inks are amazing," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I did them.
and then he's like, something in the translation just, like the originals rock, but like the printing of it or whatever. And I said, I don't really know what you were looking for. I don't know. All I know is that I put everything I had into it. You know what I mean? And I thought the stuff looked great. And it just, I guess in the printing, it didn't have the magic that he was looking for. But when he saw the originals, he was like, this has got magic. This has got the shit. So sometimes there is an interpretive factor with the printing.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff can diminish the artwork, like the printing, the color, the paper choices. A lot of times, sometimes their paper choices was really bizarre. It'd be like super flat or super glossy, and it's like there has to be some kind of thought process.
And even like the
I could never figure it out.
The CMYK conversion, not done properly, can dull inks too. Really hard.
You know who was notorious in the industry for these great looking pencil pages, but they didn't translate when someone inked them? Was Walter McDaniel.
I don't know. I am not familiar with that name.
Yeah.
He did the Daredevil stuff. Is he the guy that did that Daredevil run with the new costume?
No, that's Scott McDaniel.
Scott McDaniel is who I was thinking.
Walter McDaniel was an 90s era guy. His pencils were so like really like he was doing the shading.
What books did he work on, Todd?
He worked on some of the X books, as a matter of fact.
Walter McDaniel. That name does not, like, I was thinking Scott McDaniel.
He had like a W&M signature, like on top of each other.
Type it in, Walter.
Yeah, I'm interested.
We gotta figure out who this guy is.
God bless the internet. Yeah.
So he was a penciler on like a regular X-Men book.
Oh shit! The first thing that pops up is Walter McDaniel obituary.
Oh no!
Rest in peace, sir.
Yeah.
No, I think
Marcus is asking if he drew Deathlock.
I see a lot of Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
Gambit, a Gambit series.
Oh, so he was a.
Oh 90s. Yeah, he did do Deathlock Disarm.
He was a 90s guy then.
Yeah.
So that might have been a little bit after I stopped reading some, like the majority of Marvel comics.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good, because there's a lot of covers, but I'm not sure that he did.
I might have missed this guy.
Todd, did you ink him? How did you see his pencils?
At a show, he did these great. I have them here somewhere. These Little Rascals penciled, like toned drawings.
Oh wow!
And then so I saw them, and I'm going, man, there's just something about this guy. And so I started looking through his penciled pages and inked pages, and I'm like, wow, it doesn't translate the same, especially when you would do a cover and someone would ink them. It just wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to get everything that was there because he was trying to do like it's gray here and it's
Yeah, it sounds like a Gene Colan situation.
right.
There's
Yes,
a lot of
that's right.
rendering. Here's some of here's a page, so you guys can evaluate it yourself.
Do you know who the
This is-
inker is on this?
Yeah.
Deathlock. It doesn't
Whoa.
say. I just took a random page.
Yeah. I mean, there's a nice foreshortening there.
So if
The
you would have
arms is
seen
there.
that pencil page in person, you would see all this different tonal stuff.
Yeah, I hope I'm not offending anyone. I'm not a fan of these inks.
Yeah. He would do all this tonal
Okay, what's
stuff.
that? It's signed.
And the person would just
Oh,
make that black. So, you know, there's like I've seen Travis Charest do tonal stuff, and then, but of course he's controlling the process from start to finish. It's all him.
yeah.
But
Tom Palmer was really good at that.
Yeah. Yeah, this
Translating,
looks a little.
pencils like grays and blacks, and
There's a
he
little
used a lot
Jim
of
Lee in here.
tone and
Yeah, there's a little Jim Lee in the penciling, and some of the ink looks like they're trying to do some of the scissor hatching or Z hatching that we did at the Jim Lee and Will's Protashio stuff. Yeah, it looks a little stiff. I think the inking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the veins.
Everything is
either.
tightened up instead of loosened
Yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody like this, because the stuff is very kinetic. You got to get somebody in there that
Yeah.
can bring a lot of movement to
They can
things.
convey. Yeah, because the thing is, he's holding the guy's neck, but you don't see strength in the pose. You know what I mean?
yes, it's like he's flexing instead of
Instead of holding him, like you don't see the.
Well, we got
Don't
another
fight.
backer, Clint,
Yeah.
just back from my son's baseball game, and just in time to back Maidens of Mayhem. Looks great.
That's awesome. I hope
guys.
I hope your son had fun at the game. That's the
Yeah,
that
you
would be
guys-
a great. That would be a great name, team name for a girls softball team.
Maidens of Mayhem. Yeah.
Maidens of Mayhem.
Maidens of Mayhem. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Just an aside, I was gonna try to get some promotion for Maidens, but you talked about like softball. Those girls, they pitch underhand.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? It is a way more natural way to throw, and you can't see the ball coming. They
No.
can hide the ball. Like
sure.
like when you throw overhand, when you're batting, you can watch the hand, the arm. But when you
Right.
throw it underhand, you can
It's like
hide behind your body until
It's
the
a
release.
sneaky. Yeah, it's a
And
sneaky. pitch.
holy shit, man! They can
And plus
throw
they're closer. Their mound is closer to the plate than in baseball, and so that you don't
ball's
have any
flying.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing. Like they say, oh, it's sissy. No, man.
no,
Those chicks can-
girls
Oh, God.
softball is hardcore.
Watch those Division I girls in Alabama and like some of the Southern schools on ESPN or ESPN2 on the weekends when those girls are playing against each other. Like I'd rather watch that as a pro sport than the WNBA or women's soccer.
Oh, no, I
Dude,
agree.
like those girls softball teams, they take it serious, and you get some lovely girls on those teams too. Like that is a sport that they could make a pro sport that I would watch.
Hold on a second.
Where's Gary?
Yeah,
going
I
with
could go for a pro girls softball team with some of those girls in Division I college softball, because those are some athletes, and that's a fun sport to watch.
Yeah,
Well, they
and
bring
nobody
that
went to the
ball. They bring
WNBA.
that ball kind of to their side, and they hide it with the glove.
Oh
and then
yeah,
when they come around with their hip, and they just instead of like throwing your shoulder into it, they're really kind of using their hip, and they just kind of whip it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Whip it.
crazy.
I'm actually really shocked. That, oh, nice.
Oh shit!
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, look at that.
Dude,
That's a
so
beautiful
much
drawing.
to learn.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas right there.
Longhorns.
Wow.
And you nailed the beauty of her face.
But just they're very attractive college women, but they're
they're
athletes,
yeah.
and so they have
Yeah.
that intensity,
Yeah.
you know, in sports. That
That's
I like
captured
that
there.
combination. They remind me of superheroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that somebody hasn't tried to create like a Southern pro softball league for girls, because there seems like there would be money in that.
Well,
Endorsement
you'd have to
deals.
get the women's sports is kind of problematic when you have to get the viewers.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I could see them getting the viewers as opposed to like the WNBA.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
and girls soccer.
I don't know. I don't know how successful it would be, but looking at your rod there, it reminded me like in manga, there's a lot of sports manga,
Yeah,
like Slam Dunk and like Initial D and whatnot. Like make a baseball comic book. Would that go anywhere?
I don't think it would be in
Remember,
America.
they had one like DC had Strange Sports.
Yeah.
Remember
I
that
don't
comic book?
No, I do not. That's before my time.
Yeah.
You stop! You need to stop. Gary.
trying to age our check art there.
I
That
think,
was good.
Art, you get a lot of crap. I think I might be older than you.
Oh no, dude.
But it was a good
How
one.
old-
It worked.
That was
When
a
were you
suplex.
born? We'll do the
Yeah,
math.
I'll tell you later.
No.
Ah!
Well,
Hey,
and
Wish,
here's the thing: is the WNBA is totally subsidized by the NBA.
Right, the NBA, yeah, exactly.
So like it would almost have to be like there would have to be pressure applied to baseball
to
to
MLS,
try and
MLS?
subsidize a softball league for women.
Mm.
But the type of people that support that aren't the ones that go out with their hands out like the WNBA did. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's I hadn't thought of that why isn't there women's professional?
I could see a women's professional softball league, especially with the girls that are coming out of Division I colleges in the South.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, those are attractive girls.
Oh,
They would
yeah.
have a fan base, especially with like the whole social media generation of these college athletes coming out and have huge followings. So
You know
there's
what
money to be
other
made
female
there, I would
sport?
think.
Yeah, they're very popular.
A female sport that would make a lot of money, beach volleyball.
Oh yeah, beach
That's
volleyball
something-
could make a comeback because
Ooh.
again, very attractive athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down there, Pedro.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey Pedro, you would have loved this. When I lived in Huntington Beach, they had the volleyball.
Oh God.
Whatever it was an annual thing. And so right at the Huntington Pier, they had this whole like area, and it was just for the volleyballers I guess the volleyballers. And it was,
I have you beat.
amazing.
I have you beat on that one because the Argentinian winter is from June to August. So I was playing beach volleyball with Argentinian ladies.
Ooh.
How-
Yeah,
Yeah,
And how did it go? How did it go?
I
Did you,
lost.
hey Pedro, did you score?
A gentleman does not speak of
That's
such
right.
things.
how close?
But yeah, I did.
How close are Newport Beach and Huntington Beach to each other?
I think Newport is right next to Huntington Beach.
I've got a feeling that I just missed bumping into you because my cousin lived in you. Were you in Newport or Huntington?
I was in Huntington, right off the pier, like 5th and Main.
Yeah, and my cousin had an apartment in Newport,
Really?
and it was one row back from the beach. And I got like I was Minnesota. I'd never seen the ocean. My freshman college trip, I went out there and I stayed with him for like a week, and it was like Baywatch. But to me, it feels like you and I probably walked by each other on the street at some point, and we like missed each because it was probably like 1992.
Yeah,
And we like missed bumping into each other by that much.
you were both watching Tail, so nobody saw nothing.
Exactly.
I also feel like at some point we were separated at birth because I get along way too well with you.
I was born in.
We were meant to be buddies, Art.
Yeah.
I was
Wait,
born
Gary
in-
was going to tell us when he was born. What?
Oh yeah.
I was born in Newport Beach.
Ooh.
Oh, were
Oh
you?
wow.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
live
see,
there
it's all
that
coming
long.
together.
Yeah, I didn't live there that long. My family moved to San Jose, and I grew up in San Jose.
Mm.
Well, it's expensive. Like Newport is like it's definitely a step up a couple beats from Huntington Beach. Huntington Beach was known as like Surf City, so it was like all the punks and surfers and druggies
filthy
lived
hippies.
there, and then Newport was like upper snot hole, kind of thing. People
Yeah.
with money.
It was gorgeous. I had never seen anything like it in my life coming from Minnesota, and it was like my college, my freshman, like it was like my spring break kind of trip.
I
And
can't
I can't
even imagine growing
I
up
was
in the
in
Midwest
awe.
and never seeing the beach, and that being your first experience. That must have been amazing.
Yeah.
And more so than the ocean was the girls.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
just
screw
like-
the ocean. Look at that ass.
Wow.
It's weird. I moved from there to the South Bay, and like the Orange County beaches, it's the beaches are nicer, and the women are nicer. The LA beaches, there is that, but there's something that the LA beaches have that really the Orange County beaches don't. I forget what they called them, but they were the older girls that had been out in the sun since they were like 9, and now they're in their late 30s. You know what I mean? And they have that alligator skin,
just a little bit leathery.
yeah. And you can
Rubbery
tell,
skin.
you can tell, like at one point, like, they were.
That's called
probably very
melanoma. That's melanoma.
It's called melanoma.
Yeah.
But let's get some more Maidens of Mayhem stuff. Let the crowd know what the reason for the season is. This is Clint Helinski's new book, and then I'm gonna show a little bit of black and white artwork out.
Oh yeah,
give an update, and then
that's what we're all really here for.
We'll call it a night. So
I just
here we
shared
go.
it with you there. So I'll play the video one more time, and then I'll do a quick scroll through and reward tiers. I don't think I've done that yet. So here we go.
I like the close-ups.
This has got everything. This is the book you were born to do.
There's only more to come.
Don't miss the adventure. Super intense. Yeah, starring in Blue Bombshell, Pirate Queen, and the Sword Maidens.
Nice.
Hell to the yeah.
I think we got more backers, man.
Yeah, I saw you got one more backer. You're 33, but did you get another backer?
I think that's up to date now. 49 with 33 backers. So.
Okay.
Yeah, you just got another backer. So you're 33 backers. Off to a great start. You guys, the link is in the description. We've been posting links to the Indiegogo in the live stream in the chat here. And so you guys check that out. It's Clint's new book. He will deliver not only a great book, a humorous book, a sexy book, but he also gets the stuff done and gets the books out. So this guy's a man of his word.
Superior's estimated arrival was December 2023. And I am currently shipping out those books in September 2023. So that's
look at that.
Couple months early for delivery time. So yeah, I I want the fan base and the people that like my books to get them, and then I'm moving on to the next book and getting those shipped out too. So
Very good.
Machine,
And
man.
Randy, how this is exactly, if not more, let's hit 5K in the
Would.
first 24 hours. Yes.
that would be
Like I said,
awesome.
if not more. Yes.
So-
Black and white art. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is pretty funny. Walking prunes. Yeah, that's what those poor
Yeah.
girls were. They were
Mhm.
walking prunes.
So,
Yes.
Art, before you go and finish this off in black and white, I wanted to show some cards.
do it.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
These
Shit.
are-
Oh wow.
Man.
This is a venomized. This is kind of a craze that's been going on for a year and a half or so.
Oh yeah.
This is a
Fans
black
love
widow
Venomized. Oh,
Um,
that's beautiful.
Did you color that with markers?
yeah, that's all marker.
Wow.
That whole thing is all marker, actually.
How do you do like those pink tones on the tongue? Are you like going in there with pink and then like getting some purple marker in and blending it, or how do you do that?
Yeah, that almost
there
looks
is-
digital.
There is some white gel pen on his tongue,
Yeah.
but
But just the blending looks
Yeah,
like
the
airbrush.
blending is insane for marker.
it's tricky. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I like that
because it's
answer.
a different
It's
thing.
tricky.
Well, it's a different animal than digital, right?
Yep.
'Cause not every marker is built the same. Not everyone.
Yeah,
Th-
not
that's
every
exactly
mouth
my
comes
point.
out.
Is like that is so well done. I don't know how you're doing it with just marker. It's
he's-
gorgeous, Todd.
He's dealing with chemicals now, so yeah.
How big are these originals?
2.5 by 3.5.
Oh boy.
These are
this is
trading
all
card size,
trading
Gary.
cards.
He
That's
draws like
crazy.
microscopic.
Yeah,
That is
it's
crazy.
insane. It's
Wow.
insane how much detail.
Dude, that's very dynamic, man.
And the color and the detail. Yeah, this is so impressive, Todd. This is so
Yeah.
Very cool.
I use jeweler's glasses now.
I
Yeah,
believe
you
it.
should.
I believe it. That looks freaking awesome.
I think this one's my favorite. This is cool.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
Captain America pose.
The
The
lighting
pose-
is good on this
Yeah.
one. It's accurate and it works. You know,
Mhm.
it's dynamic too as far as the
Yeah.
lighting. And
Yeah, the
Well,
thing is
well,
like you
even as
are
like that-
defining the materials with the lighting.
The
Right.
highlight on his shield,
Yeah, the
It-
light
that
on the
looks-
shield.
digital to me.
And so I did like where I didn't ink. I knew because I knew what I was doing. I'm putting more cerebral aspects on forethought on how I'm going to color. So leaving the ink out, and doing smart things like that, ahead of time. But I can go on close. You can see.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
detail.
close up so we can
Yeah,
see how you did
zoom
the show.
in. Oh, look!
Oh, okay.
Geez, look at the texture on that.
Now we see the texture. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, dude. It's awesome.
That's
And
so neat.
Obviously, I try not to if I use white, it's sort of an absence of color. But
Mhm.
where he has white parts, there's sort of a warm gray,
Mhm.
that works to really set up sort of that there's a tone there.
Have you ever played with Prismacolor pencils where you can kind of do some of those effects
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
a white pencil and stuff? Yeah.
I do. Like when I did that Electra, there's some yellow pencil streaks.
Mm.
Oh,
This
okay.
This picture was taken before it, but so there's orange acrylic and then yellow on top of it, and then I went in with yellow pencil and I made it look like those are flying. But this isn't the picture.
Hmm.
This wasn't the final. I think I came up with that idea after.
I don't know how you draw this small in this kind of
This
detail.
is
It's crazy.
this is like painting Fabergé eggs.
Yeah.
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 Thank you guys. I appreciate you giving me a little.
No, it's gorgeous, Todd.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's so.
man.
It
So
is
Todd,
really-
what are you doing with the cards? Is this the Tops thing? What is this?
No, these are personal sketch cards, so it's non-branded. So I created a separate Facebook page where, like, I think I've got to the point where my cards are top tier. You know, there's something more than just a headshot and like on a gradient or something. So I created a website to sort of sell everything I do, like sketch covers, sketch cards. Gonna start painting, and it's on Facebook, and it's called Powerhouse Art Emporium. No, Art and Entertainment. Powerhouse Art and Entertainment.
Todd, this is very impressive, man, and I think
And
you're
so-
a little bit insane.
Like I have an eBay page, and that didn't, you know, that goes well during Christmas, but
Yeah.
trying not to lose the fees and the things like that. So I'd like to just personally sell them and engage with the people. I made a lot of like friends today where I really had conversations about them, trying to get. They were picking my brain because I put my work in this new group. Well, I was new to the group; it wasn't new, and everyone started coming at me like, "Hey, do you do this? How many APs you have?" APs are artist proof, so for every 10 cards you did for Upper Deck, they'll give you one card. So I did 30 for Upper Deck, and they gave me 3. So I have 3 blanks that I can commission. Like I can put, hey, there's a blank. Who wants, you know, something on it, whatever.
So
And
it's an
that's kind of where you
official
make your money.
So for the collectors, those cards you get from Upper Deck, and then you do a drawing on those. Those are the golden cards.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where you can command what you want.
Yeah, I did trading cards for
today. I had a thought today of putting them all together and doing one big piece.
Oh,
and
then, yeah.
Really trying to get a good value out of them. You know?
I did trading cards for a little bit, kind of probably over 10 years ago, and yeah, those collectors, like, they're diehards. They love the original art trading cards, sketch cards, and yeah, they know more about the industry and the cards that they can get than the guys drawing them, because they'll know what, like you said, Tops or Upper Deck or puts out, and they'll go for those specialty cards. It's a big collectors group there.
Not everyone realizes, like, back in the day, right? We had the Marvel Masterpieces, and Joe Jusko did a few years of those. And Nelson, you guys know Nelson DeCastro. He did a year. This year is Dos Santos. Is it Don DeSantos? Oh my God! They're soft. They're really, I don't know what style I would call that, but you know, Jusko is like, there's highlights and lowlights, and it's very bombastic, whereas Dos Santos is very soft and very blending, and it's very harmonious.
Yeah,
but they look really nice. So
that's
they
cool.
still do.
I remember the Hildebrands. Didn't the Hildebrands do a whole a Marvel Universe line and stuff? I thought those were pretty cool. For
Julie
painted.
Bell, she did a masterpiece.
Julie Bell, yeah. I'm trying to think of when I was doing those cards. I got them through an agent. Like, what was it, Glasshouse? What was that? Who was that dude?
They're like the Brazilian. David. Are they Brazilian or Philippine? I don't know. Glasshouse was they were a rep organization.
Well, right? Glasshouse was the main guy, was US, but then he like repped a lot of South American dudes. I can't think of the guy's name.
David Campiotti.
Yeah, Campiotti, that's who he was, and he was a piece of work too. But yeah, I got my trading card stuff out of him.
You get it where you can, man. You do the best with what you got, and you make some money, and then you move on.
Yeah, it was trading cards for Marvel, straight to them. And they wanted original art sketch cards, and like, yeah, like I did original art sketch cards, and like fans found out that I was doing them, and then it blew up, and I was like, yeah, there's good money in collectors for sketch cards. So
I can't do it. Phil Diaz asked me to do one for one of his campaigns, and I said I'd do it. I thought it was going to be easy because Todd does it. So why can't I? Right? So I tried. I couldn't do it. So then I just said, can I just give him a piece of artwork? Like, I'll treat it like it's a sketch card, but it will be bigger.
Bigger.
Because I couldn't do that. it's just it's not.
It's
in me, man.
hard. It's a small canvas.
Yeah, Todd.
it's
I mean,
really-
I've got to tip my hat because like if you're inking those and coloring them, when you're doing little tiny figures like that, the detail has to be, dead on. You make one little mistake, and if you're coloring it too, what do? I mean, it's just like it would, for me, I would stress out.
That's you bring up something right that let me see if the card is here, because you do have to learn to what a technique that is called, like, you don't plant your pen. I did a beast card, and it's almost like a plane touches down and then you're going up. So you're doing this because if you plant with a pen, of course you get like a circle, right? So there is a technique, but I can't do it without the jeweler's glasses. Let me get the glasses and then I'll get the card.
Oh no!
I want to see Todd in the jeweler's glasses.
Yeah,
he's gonna age like 20 years with those glasses.
Oh,
I know it.
yeah.
Yeah, Todd's got to do
Yes,
some
this is
live
good- that's
streams
good.
where he works these things out.
Oh,
my
wow.
God,
Look
no.
at
Wait,
those
wait,
bad
hold
boys.
on.
This is turning into a Terry Gilliam film.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, dude. This is like straight out of Brazil, man. Jeez.
But I have cheaters here, but these your eyes don't get tired, and I wonder if it has something to do with the distance, because these don't give me a headache.
Really?
They don't get tired. Once I really felt like I needed them, I really started like wearing them every time for all parts of it. So
we're all laughing right now, but we're all thinking, maybe this
That's
makes
a
things
great
a
idea.
little easier on my
I was
eyes.
gonna say, I want to see this up close.
Oh wow! Look
this
at all
is
the
great.
detail.
Man.
That is
Whoa.
insane detail.
Oh, that's
on that
2 by
card,
3.
Todd.
yeah,
Yeah, look at it. That's what he's saying, man. It's a little itty bitty card.
What pen are you using on that? Are you using a Micron, like an 05?
Zero,
or like
zero,
I found-
zero,
no.
zero.
I found a 03.
03 for a Micron?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Don't they
Wow,
make a
dude.
01, like a 001?
I've
or
never
whatever?
used under a 05.
It's a uni.
Can't even read it.
It's a uni PN. Fine. It's a 0.03.
Wow.
That's Mao.
That's a fine
Yeah.
tip.
Yep.
She won't
I
feel
do like inking with a nib, but I couldn't have done that beast card with a nib. I'm just not
Yeah,
quite
no.
there yet.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I do like the quality of the lively line
Yeah.
and it in sort of the almost like
You
there's
can-
an
you can
angle
get a
to the
little
line.
bit of a lively line with a Micron if you kind of futz around with it a little, especially with one that fine a tip. You can kind of
Yeah.
go back on a line and give it a little
Yeah.
thickness.
But you can't use microns and alcohol markers.
because it'll bleed.
Yeah.
So that's not a Micron then? That's a different type of pen.
Yeah, you got to figure out which ones bleed and which ones don't.
Yeah, because Microns will
Um,
bleed with that alcohol crap.
India ink bleeds.
Yeah. Oh
The
wow.
alcohol lifts it up.
It sounds like a lot of pain and
What?
suffering.
We're
Pelican
getting,
art.
we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're getting to the nitty gritty now.
Well, to be
Frank,
honest, like I
doesn't it?
look at Gary's work, and it makes me, it's just too much work. It just, I feel exhausted when I look at Gary's work, the same as Todd's trading cards. It's just like,
Yeah, I
A lot
was
of
thinking,
work.
Todd, have you thought about doing a draw stream? And do a YouTube, have your YouTube channel and show your process. And I mean, all this stuff that you're talking about, that's all new to me. I mean, your technique,
Either
tools that
I
you're using, and all the trial and error that you've done. That's I think people would be interested in seeing that.
yeah.
see, there are people. I help out a lot of people. I got a couple people hooked onto the upper deck and stuff. But if I were to go live, it would be go live on something like that's called Whatnot. Whatnot is like eBay with a live component.
Yeah.
So you have items. It could be the one you're working on, and it's auctioned while
Okay.
you're live.
So you can
that
be
would the
selling
way
what
to
you're
go.
working on.
Right. To go to do that, like Liefeld's doing it. He's doing sketches and whatever,
Oh.
and he's making a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
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 That is.
All
Wow,
right.
that is-
Well, let's get this move on. Let's edge to the end. And let me show some stuff. If you guys
Yes.
haven't heard, I do have a campaign. It's called Black and White, and it is nearing completion.
All right.
And
Where are
so
you
here's
at
the
with that?
campaign.
Art.
The book is the pencils and inks are done for the 64 pages. I have a 4-page epilogue that I'm working on now, and there's 13 pages left to be colored. So once that's done, which it shouldn't take that long, then we'll be ready for press. Well, lettering and then the press, and then fulfillment. So it is soon. I can't say exactly when. I don't have that kind of clairvoyance, but it will be very, very soon. So this is Black and White, Volume 2, Man versus Machine. I want to thank everybody for supporting this and giving me the opportunity to bring these guys back from '94, from the '90s Image Comics, and breathing a little fresh air, some new life into them. And so we're at 127,555. We're at 1,500 backers, and I could not have done this without you guys. So once again, thanks for your belief and support. We got a couple variants. This is the main cover. We got a couple variants. We have a Kenneth Roquefort variant, which is absolutely cool. We got the incredible Joe Bennett. I can't believe that Marvel actually canceled this guy because of a big mouth writer. And so I was just hanging out with Joe, just commiserating. And he said, "Hey, can I do something for you?" And I said, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "Sure, no problem." And he whipped this black and white cover together. I inked it up. He did breakdowns, so I did finishes over him, and it's absolutely fantastic. Joe's one of my favorite people to work with. He's just bombastic. There's always so much energy in life to everything he does. So I really, really appreciate this. And Marvel's loss is CG's gain. So there you go. And speaking of Pedro Eng, here we go. We got the high octane animated adventures with Comicsgate's own Pedro Eng. So this is a 22-page. It's a floppy. So this will be more like a traditional comic book. Written by Monster MD's what's his name? And it's really cool. Like I said, it's 22 pages. It's the price is a little less, so you can get some combos with the main book, Volume 1, Volume 2, and the High Octane Adventures. So this right here, this is the new cover for Volume 1. Volume 1 completely sold out, so we put a new cover on it and are reissuing it for this campaign. So if you didn't get Volume 1, you can get Volume 1 here, and you can get Volume 2. We do have tiers where you can get both of them together. So I still have some of the great Capullo artwork from '94 that I inked way back when, digitally remastered it, got some new colors, and put it out as a variant. So once again, you guys, thank you so very much for helping me realize this dream and bring it to life. Like I said, too, I couldn't have done it without you. So I'm going to show off a new piece of artwork I got in the other day. I can't show you the whole page, so I kind of cropped it. So you'll get to see a couple of the panels. So here we go.
Ooh, dude, the colors are just
your colors is killing it.
Yeah.
That was awesome, though.
Got some cool stuff, cool action. I really dig drawing robots, so it's just a lot
You
of
like
fun.
drawing robots?
I do actually. I don't like drawing Iron Man, but I like drawing my own robots.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
Iron Man.
Possible White is just gorgeous, man.
I just
Yeah,
love the weight under that foot with that all black underneath the foot.
Oh yeah,
It just feel it coming down.
Yeah.
anchors it. Some
Look at
close-ups.
that, dude.
Oh,
Well,
come on.
look at those.
Okay.
What is in the eyes? Are you?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
you got cross-hatching in her pupils.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
But
What are you
it
using
works.
in the eyes?
Dude, it
I
looks
thought I
like she's
tried
like
something.
glazed over. Yeah, it looks like she's like glazed over, like wow.
She's mesmerized.
Yeah.
Girls don't look at that like me. Look at me like that unless I slip them something in their
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah, like
Oh my
looking
gosh.
like at a scrumptious hot dog or something.
Yeah,
Like, I
just for
want
the
some of
record, Clint does nothing like that. He gets
Yeah.
he's
Never.
all above board.
I've never bought a girl a drink because I'm too
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, he's not known as a roofie king at all. Just
Did you say you're too cheap?
Too cheap.
Oh my gosh.
oh my god,
That's
like, you do it with water?
I would never.
Yeah.
He got quiet.
Yeah, it's like
What were roofies before roofies? Were they Spanish flies? Remember
Spanish
that?
fly.
Like,
Oh,
fly.
Spanish
Yeah,
fly. I remember
Spanish fly,
Spanish.
dude. Oh.
oh my gosh.
None of it was super classy.
Yeah, anybody has to resort to that. It has no game. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
horrible.
It's pathetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, such a tease. Always. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I can't wait to get it in your hands. And
Can you
I'm
please
working
highlight-
now on the next volume. What's that?
Can you please highlight some person's comment?
On what? What?
right at the bottom, the last
Right.
comment.
Yeah, the last comment.
It's
Is
I always-
it the margarita one?
yeah. I always show up at the bar with margarita coupon.
Margarita coupon. Hey, baby, I got a coupon for 2-for-1 margaritas. Come on.
Nothing drops panties like cocktail coupon.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
It's a
Classy
2-for-1,
shit.
baby.
Come on.
Well, she knows that you're thrifty and you're good with money.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
good with money. I like to have fun.
And you're a
Well, that's
provider.
what we think she's gonna appreciate.
Yeah.
It's a specific woman that Clint's looking for.
Exactly.
An alcoholic.
Exactly.
It's a test.
Exactly.
It's a test, yeah. Well, he got one woman. He's married, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
She said yes.
The poor girl.
All right, you guys. Well, we got Clint's new book, so you guys go check that out. Links in the description. Great time coming back out of retirement, hanging out with the Pontificators.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be back soon, so I almost have a handle on the campaign. I'm going to help my wife out with some of the fulfillment stuff, and then I'll be back full time. So Pontificators will be coming back. Wednesdays are not the same without Pontificators.
Yes.
So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us for the last couple hours. Thanks for showing off that wonderful artwork, Todd. It was amazing. Thanks for coming in, Gary. Your work is just fantastic. I mean, it's like gallery level stuff. And then Pedro, work is just dynamic, fun, bombastic as always. Can't wait for the new book. And as always, you guys are the best. CG is amazing. This is where it's all happening right now, is right here. It's not in the mainstream. We had articles. Clint had all these articles planned and everything.
We didn't even get to them.
I know, because we were having too damn much fun.
Too much fun.
Yeah. So
Like Rick James.
So we have stuff for next time. So
Yeah, for
you
sure.
guys have a wonderful evening. What's left of it. Have a wonderful, fantastic weekend, and we'll see you soon. You guys take care.
Take care.